the sky, the sky, the
Good evening. This is your host, Dan Stafford, with the Midwestern Geek in Cali YouTube channel, YouTubing from 42 Tardis Way here in lovely Temecula, California, summer's winter home. And this evening we have a really fun episode for you. This is going to be a blast, and I'll get into why in just a little bit. This afternoon, Charles McKee from Inland Empire Sports and News, www.iesportsnews.com. The two of us went out and covered the Western Science Center Museum in Hemet, and this place is really cool. We had our wonderful host, Brittany, give us a very gracious tour around the facility, and we had a wonderful time, and I think you are too, because this place has bones. It has really big bones, so it's going to be a lot of fun, and get ready for it. And we're going to have a little bit of an infinity screen here in just a moment, and then I'm going to start taking you on a tour around the site here, around a few things. So give me just a second here. Infinity screen. Okay, and let's hop over here for a moment. And we're going to stop by my website just for a brief moment here. This is www.midwesterngeekincali.com. We'll have archived episodes here, all the videos. We'll also have links, show notes, still photos. There's also links to our social media presence and a few other fun and interesting links. And that being said, please stop by and visit when you can, and check out some of our other episodes. And then we're going to move over to the Western Science Center's website. And this is their front page. They have a nice little rolling splash here at the front, so I would stop by and check it out. It's westernsciencecenter.org, as you can see up here, just westernsciencecenter.org. This page has some of their events, and Science Under the Stars, Science of the Sea, and several other ones. Stop by and check that out. And then this shows some of the permanent exhibits that are available. There's also rolling exhibits, so you can find all this stuff by just going around the top of the website here. And then let's take a look over here. We have, this is under Plan Your Visit, Hours and Admission. We have museum hours and admission. As you can see, the pricing is very, very reasonable. And then interestingly enough, right across the street, the Park District has an aquatic center. So there's water slides and huge pool, and that can be an awful lot of fun too. Maybe you can do a combined trip. That might just be interesting for you. So on that note, I'm going to go ahead and mute out the mic here and get into doing a little bit of video for you. So give me just a moment to shift gears here, and we'll get rolling. Okay, so we're at the Western Science Center, and this is your host, Dan Stafford, with Midwestern Geek in Cali. And we're at the Western Science Center with Brittany.
Hi, I'm Brittany Stoneberg. I'm the Marketing Events Specialist for the Western Science Center, which is the largest natural history museum in Riverside County.
Wonderful, thank you. And can you tell us a little bit, Brittany, about what all is here?
Yeah, so this So the Western Science Center is a natural history museum that was established in 2006 to house the archaeological and paleontological finds from Diamond Valley Lake, which is a man-made lake. And so what we have here is over 100,000 fossils that are primarily of Ice Age deposits. So that means they're anywhere between 16,000 to 40,000 years old. We have things like mammoths, mastodons, giant ground sloths. So that entire epoch is called the Pleistocene, and that's really what the fossils from Diamond Valley Lake focus on. But we also have fossils from other localities now as well.
All right, and this is the largest science center in Riverside County?
We are the largest natural history museum in Riverside County currently. And so we've kind of positioned ourselves as a natural history museum for the Inland Empire.
Wonderful, wonderful, thank you.
Very welcome.
And to get a little bit of a view around here, just for starters, and you can't even see the half of it here from where I'm at, so we'll be getting more. I'll be getting multiple videos and stitching them together for the show. And this is also next to the Water District, I believe, which is that the next building down?
So that is the Diamond Valley Lake Visitor Center, but they're only open on weekends.
Okay.
So I know that this is
That's kind of wow.
So you can see the end of the Quaternary period right here, which is the period that we are currently in.
Nice. All right.
Alrighty, so I'm show you. So this is our temporary exhibit space. So we have two temporary exhibit spaces that allow us to cycle at exhibits. So this is H2O nodes, series for plastics in our oceans. And this is also an area that kind of shows you geologically why you don't find dinosaurs in California, actually. So none of the fossils that were found at Diamond Valley Lake are dinosaurs. They're all Ice Age. So the reason that is because during the Cretaceous, you can see here, we're right here, this area was underwater at the time.
Okay.
And so you almost never find dinosaur fossils in California, especially not in this area. And
So it was underwater even right here in the Inland Empire.
Yep. And so as we go forward, the Quaternary, where we're at now, you can see, now we've got land. So unfortunately, I have lots of little kids who come in and they're like, hey, so they found dinosaurs here. And the fact is we didn't find any dinosaurs here. We just found Ice Age animals because the geology here is too young for us to find dinosaurs. break a lot of little kid hearts that way. It's funny, they're pretty good now, but when I first started, we always had people be like, oh, I've lived in the valley 20 years, and I never knew this place existed. Exactly. So we're always open for trying to get people to realize what the resource they have here. Yeah, so this is more about the history and prehistory of Diamond Valley Lake as well.
Nice. I don't want to get too much of everything because I want people to come out.
Doing a big circle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can get you a list. Just about to open summer camps and all sorts of that stuff. Yeah, so I'm basically just giving you guys the quick all-around tour, and you can choose what you want to focus on.
I want to focus on enough to help people decide to come out and visit.
Yes, well, the final exhibit, I think, is what will really sell that. This is our another temporary exhibit space. Right now it's Main Street, California, artifacts from turn of the century life. So these are 20th century artifacts.
So like 1901 to...
Yeah, about 1901 to maybe like 1920 or so.
Okay.
So this is also an exhibit that cycles out. Our future exhibits in here, for example, we're going to have one about marine paleontology. So we cycle this out every...
Oh, that'll be interesting.
Yeah, it's going to be really good, and I'll let you guys know when that comes up.
Nice.
We also have another temporary exhibit coming up about Joshua Tree. As well.
Oh, that'll be cool too.
Yeah, so this exhibit usually cycles out about every 6 months or so.
Okay. Okay, good to know.
Yeah,
And then what's the website? The website for the Science Center?
Oh, just westernsciencecenter.org.
Perfect.
Yeah, real easy peasy.
Yep.
We like to make it simple. Yeah, we'll have, before the marine paleontology exhibit, we're going to have every summer we do a hands-on exhibit called Shape, Sights, and Sounds that is meant to get kids involved in science in a hands-on way, play with colors, play with sounds, which is hilarious because often I find the adults in here for 3 hours building towers and whatnot. So they often enjoy
Nobody ever outgrows being a kid. Right? Not really.
One time, what we'll do is we'll build displays in here with blocks. And one time we were really under the gun for getting the exhibit done. So one day I just had to build stuff. That was my day. I got paid to do that. It was great.
That sounds pretty fun, actually.
Working in a museum is probably the best job I've ever had.
Yeah. My day job is teaching IT to vets.
That's awesome. That's really cool. So we try to make every exhibit interactive in some way. So you might have noticed that there's clothing and stuff that the kids can wear. We try to make sure that they are able to...
Oh, so the kids can get in period costume here? Nice. Okay, so we're heading for the permanent exhibit. Now, I'm going to back up and get the entrance because this is kind of cool and it's tucked away. You wouldn't almost realize it until you turn around and walk the other direction. So look for the half arch there and walk under there. All right. Now things are really starting to get cool. Watch. We got a little bit of a theater going here. Nice, nice. I like the way you guys did this. So now you've kind of given, you don't have the entire fossil skeleton, so what you've done is put up a frame that shows where the bones would be.
Exactly. You almost never find 100% of a skeleton. Our most complete mastodon is actually about 60%. So this is a good visual representation of what pieces we have and what pieces we are missing.
All right. So if you would, I'm going to have you just stand next to the skull that's in the case there, just for a sense of scale here.
For reference, I'm 5'8", but
Okay. Okay. Good. Very good. And so you've got a couple of saber-tooths in here, or one or two?
Yeah, so one of the interesting things is what you mostly find here. Yes, absolutely. We do have some saber-tooth, but it's fragmentary. You might be thinking of a place like La Brea Tar Pits that has lots of carnivores. Diamond Valley Lake is a little bit different than that because La Brea Tar Pits is a predator trap, and so they have a disproportionate amount of predators in their fossil record. Here we find scraps of carnivores, things like saber-tooth cat, American lion, short-faced bear, but it's usually a tooth or a fragment of a bone. That's much more representative. Here you usually find herbivores more.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is actually, what's interesting, this is Max. This is the largest mastodon ever found in California. And what's interesting about him is, I don't know if you guys saw the news recently, but we recently announced that Max and the other mastodons that were found here at Diamond Valley Lake, as well as all of the mastodons in California and in southern Idaho, are actually a new species called the Pacific mastodon. Pacificus.
Interesting.
Yeah, so they are quite different from the mastodons in the rest of the country, known as the American mastodon. So part of what makes them different is they have different teeth. So their teeth are narrower and shorter. They have no mandibular tusks, so that means they don't have tusks on the bottom of their jaw, which many American mastodons do. So they have shorter, stouter limbs.
Okay.
So yeah, we just announced that.
It's interesting, the one how the tusks kind of flare out to the sides rather than like this one.
Exactly. So that actually is a American, that is a Colombian mammoth.
So
that is a mammoth. This is a mastodon, and that's actually one of the things that differentiates them. A lot of people think mastodons and mammoths are interchangeable, but they're not. They are not actually that closely related. The mammoth also has flatter teeth and is a grazer, so eating things like grasses, while the mastodon is eating things like branches and nuts and berries and things like that.
It looks like the mammoth was maybe a little bit taller, but not as long.
Yeah, the mammoth would have been taller. What I always tell little kids when I'm trying to explain the difference between a mammoth and a mastodon is that the mammoth is like a basketball player and the mastodon is like a football player. At least in terms of build.
Okay.
Yeah, so we've been really excited. It's a huge testament to museum collections. Max was collected in the 1990s when they were building Diamond Valley Lake, and so we didn't know until a couple of years ago when we first, my boss, Dr. Alton Dooley, started doing the research that Max was actually a different species. So that was part of the power of our museum collections, is keeping all this stuff in perpetuity so that we can study it and make new discoveries.
Very nice, very nice.
And so something also interesting is you might notice here, we have this big mural. That's by a paleo artist named Brian Eng, and he based it off of an actual injury that is on Max's jaw. It's a little hard to see, but there's a growth of bone on the end of his jaw, and it's covered by the foam, but there's also a groove that we hypothesize might have been caused by another tusk.
Oh, so they were squabbling like in the mural up there.
It's entirely possible that mastodons, got into fights just like modern elephants do.
Well, most mammal species do, kind of.
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely. So it's not that much of a stretch. That is a ground sloth.
Ah.
So there are 3 species of ground sloth found at Diamond Valley, and this is one of them.
Doesn't look like you'd want to get in his way.
You would not. Although those big claws are actually used for burrowing, not for
Well, no, not eating you, but don't make him
Oh,
mad.
I still would not want to upset him.
No. Exactly.
Yeah, so there's 3 species found at Diamond Valley Lake: the Harlans, the Shasta, and the Jefferson's ground sloth.
Fascinating.
And here at the museum, everything that is under glass is the actual bone.
Okay, and then the ones that are exposed to the air are replica, which makes a lot of
Yeah,
sense
you know,
for preservation.
Our whole mission as a museum is to preserve and protect and study the fossils that are here, and so bolting them into something doesn't really jive with that mission. So we really try to protect them as much as we can.
Yeah.
And making replicas is so robust now that you can take a scientific measurement off of some of these casts and know that it would still be accurate.
How do they do that? Do they use like a 3D printing technique?
We do 2 ways. We have a replica lab where we use resin casting, and then we do have a 3D printing lab where we can do 3D print. So 3D print. If you want to touch. Oh. For example, I'll show you this. This is a 3D print. This
Okay.
is plastic. This is a 3D print of a bison antiquus skull from our harvesting collection, which is from Temecula. And so this is multiple 3D prints adhered together. So this makes this a perfect replica for outreach. Kids can touch it, they can handle it, we don't have to worry about it. It's not accurate enough for scientific measurement purposes, but for 3D printing is great for outreach and exhibits.
Perfect. I know Huell Hauser would have been all over it.
I know, I always think about that.
He's so fun, but he also used to touch everything. Yeah.
My hosts do that a lot. We had a host for PBS come and he wanted to touch everything and, with the 3D print, absolutely. So this is our exploration station. This is where sometimes our staff and volunteers will hang out and prep fossils where people can see them and where people can ask questions, and also where we have an array of comparative skulls and other 3D prints so that people can see different things.
It's almost like a Paleo Santa's workshop here.
Pretty much.
That's fun.
And then this is our dinosaur exhibit. So this is a exhibit about Harley Garbani, who was a local from the San Jacinto Valley who worked with the Natural History Museum of Los
Garbani
Angeles.
Road.
Yes. He worked with the Natural History Museum of Los Angeles and many other institutions. He was quite adept at finding fossils, cataloging fossils, and he did that right up until he died. And so, thanks to the generosity of his widow, Mary Garbani, we have some of his collection, and we proudly display it here.
Yeah, I kind of thought that might be a T-Rex up there. I've
Yes,
seen
it is.
dinosaurs too in Chicago. Yeah.
Yes, he was great. Yes. So this is also a cast, and like I was saying before, none of the fossils here were found at Diamond Valley Lake. They were found elsewhere.
Okay.
Yes, and we do have other dinosaur fossils that we haven't quite put on display yet. But last year, our curator, Dr. Andrew McDonald, named 2 new species. He named Invictarch zephyrei, which is a nodosaur, a kind of armored dinosaur, and Dimopterodynastes, which is a tyrannosaur. You could say that it is a distant relative of a T-Rex. So those are 2 new dinosaurs that were named at the museum as a result of our work at our field site in New Mexico.
Wonderful.
So we are a very active research institution, and we do have active field sites, active research going on. Yeah.
And I won't ask where those are.
No worries. Oh, and you're welcome to, if you want to walk over a mastodon right over here.
Oh, this is cool.
So this is little Stevie. This is one of our mastodons. This is our most complete mastodon at about 60%. So like I was saying, you don't always, you almost never find something 100%. I love little toddlers trying to walk through here. They get really scared. It's fine.
Yeah, it's probably fine, but I'm pretty heavy. Not to mention which, the angles are better from out here. It's really cool. You got a lot of reflections off the glass from all the overhead lighting, but by the same token,
I know it makes it, when I have to do professional photography in here, it can get a little difficult.
that's all right. This is going to be perfect. Toolkits and everything. Looks like tools from a dig.
Yeah, it's simulated to look like the actual dig site where little Stevie was found.
Very cool.
It's fun if you want to hit the button.
All right, let's walk up and hit the button.
So these are eastern fox squirrels, at least some of them are, and they have a disease called porphyria, also known as vampire's disease, which causes their bones to fluoresce pink. The ones that don't glow are gray squirrels, which are so similar in structure to the eastern fox squirrel, can be very difficult to tell them apart, but if you just shine them under black light, you can see the difference.
Wow. I see.
What's very interesting is that porphyria can occur in other species. It can occur in humans. And humans who get it often suffer from really bad side effects. Eastern fox squirrels don't seem to have a problem with it. They do not suffer any side effects from it. In fact, they are, that porphyria, the disease that causes them to glow pink, has been with them since in the Ice Age. So you can see fossil ones will fluoresce as well.
Yeah. And as we progress with climate change, we may be finding more interesting things like that. So Brittany, go ahead and tell me about the events that you do here.
Yeah, so the Western Science Center has a very active education and outreach department. So we have summer camps coming up during the summer. We do lectures. We do Science Saturdays, which have free activities on the first Saturday of the month. Those will start again in September. And so we always have something new going on for both kids and adults. We try to make sure everybody can have fun at the museum.
All right, perfect. And if you could one more time rotate through the next, like, say, 3 exhibits going in the rotating exhibit.
So on June 1st, we'll have our Fossils of the Joshua Tree National Park exhibit opening. Then in June, we will have our Shape, Sights, and Sounds exhibit, which is a hands-on exhibit for kids and adults. And in the fall, we don't have a set date for it yet, but we will have another exhibit coming up.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. All right, I'm going to do a quick panorama around here, around the Western Science Center. That's the Science Center building there. And then this is the Visitor Center and Water District. And there you go.
Okay, so we're going to walk through a few still photos here very quickly. This is a picture of Brittany, and it's next to an exhibit on plastics in the oceans. That's a good one to check out when you're there. And then this is a picture of me and Brittany both standing next to the mastodon bone skull, Max. And Brittany's 5'8", I'm 6'6", and as you can see, Max would have been quite a bit bigger than either one of us. So let's move on. This is a picture of me outside. I love the Life on Earth sign. I think that's really cool. And then I'm inside taking a little bit of video. And thank you, Charles McKee, for a lot of these photos. This is a mural of bones that you saw in one of the earlier video segments going on. And then these are some photos I took of the area outside the back. There's walking paths and a little bit of garden area. Do be cautious out there. There are possibly rattlesnakes in the area at times, so just be careful, and if you see one, back away. And then this is another view. You can see the Life on Earth. Look at the courtyard between the Science Center and the Visitor Center. And then we have another view of the Science Center. It's still, it's really large. And then if you walk in here and head that direction, you can find the business office. And then that's the rest of the Science Center there. And also they have Max the Mastodon patches that you can get in the gift shop. So I thought that was really cool, and Charles did too, obviously. And then let's look around outside a little bit. This is the exterior of the Science Center. And this says Academy over here. It's a little bit chopped by the tree, but otherwise it's a really good pick. Gives you a sense of the scale there. And then this is the replica of Max, I believe, and some of the other fossil skulls. This is the sloth, the saber-tooth. I think that's the short-faced bear, and then the T-Rex, and another shot of the mastodon. And then looks like 7th grade English class was having a lightsaber challenge there for reading. And on that note, I'm going to switch back over, and I'm going to actually switch over to the thank you screen here, and it's going to be time to say thank you so much for watching this episode and checking it out. Definitely, if you're in Temecula, Murrieta, Wildomar, Menifee, Sun City, Lake Elsinore, anywhere, even Idlewild or Ontario or Corona, anywhere around here, the Western Science Center is a really great place to visit. It's set up wonderfully for kids. It's also very interesting for adults and teenagers. The aquatic park across the street, it should be a really wonderful day. It's really easy to get to. It's very close off the Domenegoni Parkway, so not hard to get to, specifically off the 215. Excuse me. So definitely check them out. Check out their website and plan it out before you go. And there'll be links over on the blog later with some of these still photos as well. And again, thank you for watching. My name is Dan Stafford, your host with Midwestern Geek in Cali, and you can find us at www.midwesterngeekincali.com, at Midwest Geek Cali on Twitter, and Midwestern Geek in Cali Facebook discussion group. So thank you again, and may there never be a rogue wave in your coffee mug, and happy Vulcan fingers to you from the agent of 42. And on that note, have a great night.